I'm going to discuss my understanding of the following questions. Number one, the process and purpose of reading. My understanding of the purpose and the process of reading first is that once students reach high school, they are their purpose shifts, and it shifts from learning how to read, which they would do in elementary, and once they become older and progress through school, then their purpose will go from learning to read to reading to learn. The number one goal is to get students ready for college and career success by building critical thinking, expanding their vocabulary, and being able to develop critical thinking and background knowledge. It also helps their social emotional development. These are all parts of the process. The process of reading is going to start with decoding, being able to match sounds to letters and recognizing patterns to form words. Then it goes to word recognition, being able to identify words, fluency, how well they read, how smoothly they read. Then it'll go to vocabulary or understanding the meaning of the words that they're reading. Then to comprehension, by being able to understand what they're actually reading. The next question is my understanding of the role of morphology and contextual analysis. What does it have on the vocabulary development? Morphology and contextual analysis are crucial for vocabulary development. They work best together to help readers infer unknown words by breaking them down. Breaking them down into prefixes, root words, and then suffixes, and using surrounding clues by trying to help decipher what they're reading. Word recognition is boosted, and language skills, especially when these skills are explicitly taught as a combined strategy. Morphology reveals word structure, while context provides surrounding clues, and using both methods concurrently provides a more complete understanding than either strategy alone, leading to a deeper vocabulary acquisition. For number three, my understanding of evidence-based practices for teaching phonemic awareness to English learners. Effective evidence-based practices for teaching phonemic awareness to English learners involve explicit multisensory, game-based instruction that moves from larger to smaller units or words to phonemes, incorporating familiar words from their native language, emphasizing clear articulation of continuous sounds using manipulatives like blocks or chips, and connecting sounds to letters. Key strategies for teaching ELL learners is songs and poems, lip watching, sound boxes, small group work, and of course, explicit teaching. For number four, how an English learner's home language can be utilized to support and strengthen the development of foundational phonics in English. My understanding is that an English learner's home language strengthens English phonics by leveraging existing linguistic patterns, using similar words from their language that are words that are similar to the English word. For instance, problem and problema. This helps them to build their vocabulary. Also applying transferable phonemic awareness, like hearing sounds across the languages. While translanguaging or moving fluidly between languages helps connect concepts and build confidence by seeing familiar structures, making the alphabetical principle easier to grasp. For number 5, the necessary components to achieve effective comprehension, including well-developed language, multiple high-order thinking processes, and self-correction. And my understanding of that is that the key components are language comprehension, knowing the words and the word parts, vocabulary, which is knowing the meaning of the words, syntax, which is understanding how words form sentences, background knowledge, and they can use that background knowledge to connect information, new information, to what they already know. Then next, the higher order thinking processes, inferring, analyzing and synthesizing, questioning, evaluating, and predicting. Then next component is monitoring and self-correction, identifying confusion and repair strategies. They also work together to activate prior knowledge, decode words fluently, and build vocabulary, monitor their understanding, and correct their own errors. For number 6, how evidence-based best practices can be utilized to improve comprehension in English learners, including those with reading difficulties and dyslexia. To improve comprehension for English learners with reading difficulties like dyslexia, use explicit systematic instruction, focusing on phonics, phonemic awareness, vocabulary, and fluency, combined with multisensory techniques, visual aids, graphic organizers, repeated reading, building background knowledge, scaffolding, and audio support, using things like audio books and letting the students be able to hear how the fluency and what is being read so they can better understand. To reduce decoding load, allowing focus on meaning, supported by individualization and supportive environment. The core instructional practices are explicit direct instruction, systematic phonics, vocabulary focus, and fluency building. The comprehension strategies are building background knowledge, graphic organizers, reciprocal teaching, previewing, and monitor comprehension. Support for English learners and students with dyslexia. The multisensory techniques are good for them. It helps them to engage in touch, sight, and sound. And the assistive technology is also very helpful, using text-to-speech, audio books, or digital aids to bypass decoding challenges. Scaffolding, breaking down tasks or assignments into smaller steps, or giving supports until a student catches on, and then moving on, and then the more they catch on, then being able to remove those supports. Also, native language support, like I was answering in another question, using words that are similar to the English words to help understand. This helps support literacy in the student's first language when possible. Also, individualizing or tailoring the instruction to meet that student's particular needs or their specific needs and strengths. Also, a supportive environment. Foster a positive space that's conducive to the students' learning, where the students feel safe to take risks and to learn, and to also advocate for themselves. And then modeling and conversation. Model thinking processes and have conversations about the text to help deepen the students' understanding of what they have read and what's in the text that they have just read. This is my understanding of these questions. I got help with my responses from Google AI.